What's up everyone, Josh Moore coming at you from the beautiful state of Montana. Just want to do a quick tutorial on my backpacking gear. Pretty much everything you see here is what I take with me on any given weekend. And there are also a few things here that are extras that I wanted to show you guys anyway. So let's get started. First, always great to have a handy and reliable bag. This is an Osprey 65-liter bag with the anti-gravity suspension. Very comfortable, easy on your back. And perfect for any duration of time spent in the backwoods. If it's 3 days, 1 day, or even up to 10 to 14 days, 65 liters for me is absolutely perfect because I don't require many materials. Next, good shelter here, 2-person tent, super lightweight, weighs about 3 pounds, has extra vestibule space on both sides, so it gives you some added protection to the elements and you can keep your gear dry. When I want to ditch the tent and I want to get a little bit more hardcore and be a mountain man, I simply just bring a tarp, some rope, I build myself a teepee or a shelter. This is great for protecting you from the elements such as rain, the snow, or even the wind. Next, let's get into the kitchen camp mooring essentials here. Got yourself a lightweight frying pan, pot, and plate. It all goes together. It's not nice and snug there. Camp Paradise is always ran by head chef Morin. I'd be cooking up the best backwoods food. So gather around and order off the menu of either fried fish or some other backwood varmints. So next on the list is this bad boy. This is a jet boil. Now this is a glamping essential. So when you're in the backwoods and you don't want to start a fire or it's raining, wet, this guy comes in very, very handy. Boils water in just a few minutes, up to 10,000 feet. And it'll have you some hot boiling water if it's for food or if it's just to get some clean drinking water on the go. It's perfect for that. I have a canteen that holds water as well, water bladder. And here, this is a great tool for me, especially up in Montana, in the creeks, rivers, and lakes here in Montana, those alpine lakes. Catch a lot of fish on this little guy. It's about a 4-foot pole. It doesn't look like much, but it does some damage, and it slays the fish. Caught hundreds of fish on this very pole right here. Got my favorite lure on there. I've definitely jumped in the creek and retrieved this bad boy a handful of times. So I don't want to let this go because I know it catches the fish. Moving on. Got myself a first aid kit here, some Band-Aids, some other essentials, as well as some matches and a flint in there as well to start the fire. I want to make sure that those essentials stay dry. Fire is definitely a key component of survival in the backwoods, and having something to start a fire, if you don't know how to use the land to start a fire, is very, very essential. Next on the list, something very cheap but effective to add to your safety is an emergency blanket. Had to use one of these a handful of times in the frigid cold of Montana in the fall months, and it has definitely been a lifesaver. Next, we have an array of knives for gutting out fish, food, or anything else that you need to use your knife for. Sometimes having a knife can get you out of some tricky situations if need be. This little bad boy here, just a simple handsaw. Cuts 3 to 5 logs fairly easily with minimal effort, and you can create a teepee, bench, shelter with just this guy right here. This is really all you need. Bears in Montana love about 5'6", 155-pound guys like myself. I don't want to become their dinner. Just in case they decide they want to come around, got ourselves some bear spray. But never seen a bear in the backwoods because we just don't attract that type of energy. Next, some paracord here, about 50 feet. Build ourselves, like I said, a teepee, shelter, anything you need. Rope comes in very, very handy. Have a few headlamps here for lighting the way during the nighttime. Obviously, light is an important role in navigating by night, and it definitely helps make things a lot easier. Just another little gadget here. This is just a footprint for the tent. It saves the integrity of the bottom of your tent, so you're not ripping holes or anything like that in there, so it'll last you many, many trips to come. Next on the list, I got my 15 degree Lost Ranger here. It's got down tech. It folds up into this little bag, saves space, but it's also very effective for warmth. Couple polyester blankets here, very lightweight. Throw them inside the sleeping bag, line your sleeping bag with them, allows for added warmth and comfort. Next on the list, just a couple pair of boots that we use. These are rather for cold conditions, these are for all conditions, summer months. Boots are very important for two things. Number one, holding in warmth. Keeping your feet warm is so important, but number two is also dry. If it be dry from water or dry from sweat, keeping your feet dry and warm is essential in the backwoods. Next, this is another glamping essential, I would call it. This is an X-Ped sleeping pad. It's got a very high R value on it, so it's going to keep you warm. You lose a lot of warmth at night through the ground, so keeping yourself warm underneath your sleeping pad is very, very important. This here is simply an air quarter, so essentially all this gear goes into the bag. This is a big duffel bag, so it goes over top, saves the integrity of my backpack, so it'll save me for years and years, and this bag will last me over 20 plus years if you treat your gear correctly. Next on the list, now this is the glamping number one thing that I leave at home. This is just a pillow, blow it up, takes a couple seconds to blow up, fits in this tiny little bag here. I usually leave this at home, but it's a good thing to have, especially if you bring a friend that isn't as hardcore as yourself. Last thing here is just a dry sack. I throw anything that I want to keep dry in this bad boy. If it be my clothes, food, or any essentials that I bring with me that I want to make sure to stay dry. And this thing definitely does the trick and is a key component, but also something that you can shed, so it sheds the weight. So that's really it, that's all my gear. Take care.